Puppy door block for an exterior door. William Hovey Smith, 2015. I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting and also Ideas for New Businesses, which is now available as an ebook and soon as a softcover title.
This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman. Well, previously we have introduced you to the concept of using a salvaged pallet to build a door block to keep a puppy confined indoors. Well, now we're building a similar thing to go on an outside door frame. Consequently, this is made out of heavier material and includes a facing of 1/4-inch hardware cloth here. Now, I've also been considerably more elegant in the design of the frame itself, because once the puppy grows up a little bit and I no longer have to keep him blocked off on the porch, I'm going to use this as a soil screen. And we will make a standing dragon soil screen out of this and use this as a base. So it will ultimately have legs and be repurposed for other uses. Now, for the details of this, what's different? You'll notice that I use 2 reinforcing slats, one here and one on the other side. Now, what this does, obviously, is to support the screen as well as to reinforce the structure itself. I also ran out of 2x4s. I didn't have enough. So, consequently, on the sides, I use these smaller planks to fill in and scab them to the 2x4s, which are on the corners. Now, the corners are reinforced with corner brackets here. I found that screws, even large ones, did not give enough reinforcement for a stable structure. So consequently, I use corner brackets. Now, the little handle here on top, yeah, that's deer antler. And the whole stuff, yeah, this is pretty stable. It's not going anywhere. New tools used that you haven't seen before are this large half-round file, which I use to dress the wood, actually a wood rasp. Really, big files and wood rasp, yeah, they come out to be pretty much the same thing, really. And I also used a hand sander to sand the edges where I needed to make a cutout so it would block up in the door, and I'll show you the details of that as well. Now, I'll bring the camera up and give you some close-ups of the details of constructions and show you a few little of the nitty-gritties before I put a coat of paint on. Now, your wives are probably not going to like this very much, but this little bit of deer antler was from a small yearling that I took from a place called Hard Labor Creek here in Georgia. And what I had done is inletted this part of the antler down about this far in the wood, drilled it, put this nail through the hole to hold it, and also glued it with Gorilla Glue, which foams and expands as it sets. So now this will ultimately be filed down smooth. And I also attached the other end with a nail drilled through the antler and down into the wood. So yeah, this handle is not going to go anywhere. Now, the attachment of the hardware cloth itself is with these sheetrock nails here. And this is pretty good. You could use staples, of course, which would be traditional. On these smaller pieces, like here, I was able to back these and drive the nails directly in without splitting the wood. And also here on the sides, I was able to do that as well. So that worked out very well. Now, on this particular piece of wood, I had some problems because our friendly carpenter bees had drilled it. Yeah, there was a 1/2-inch hole that ran back here, a vertical one here, and what I did was put a wooden plug in here and filled it with Gorilla Glue again, and I took some staples that I salvaged from this, which were about 2 inches long and thin steel, and just dropped them down in this hole, filled it full of Gorilla Glue. So now we have a polymer reinforced wooden member. So this is as strong or stronger than the original wood, so there's no problem about this piece failing now. This is pretty good stuff. The corners, as I said, have been reinforced with brackets, so that's in good shape. So, about this. This is my drag rope, or one of them that I use. And what's going to happen to it is it's going to be stapled to the bottom of the work, all the way down to the bottom of the door frame. So not only will I have a means of setting the top of this in the door, I can also use this and pull the bottom flush. That will enable me to get a real solid seal against the sets. Now ultimately, when the dog grows bigger, it'll be able to pull down this. So on the bottom, I'll put another piece of 2x4, and if necessary, put a concrete block on it. So that will hold him for as long as that dog needs to be held inside. So this is the general plan, and I'm going to paint it today and put some white paint on it and some stain on this, and so it'll be more weather resistant and also not tend to swell quite as much, since the rigidity of the structure depends on a jam fit. Here is the door block installed in the door. Now you can see it fits firmly. Yeah, pressure from this side will not do anything. These members here are protected from doggy chewing by this wrap of wire around it. The other parts of it are put solid. It pulls out of the way easily, and it is retained by these wooden members here, and these are just tacked in and the nails are left exposed so I can pull them in a few weeks when this block is no longer needed. Made from homemade materials, cost maybe about $8 for the hardware cloth and the brackets and the screws that I bought. The lumber itself salvaged from the pallet. If you'd bought the pieces for both door blocks from a carpenter shop, yeah, you'd probably paid about $20 or $30 just for the lumber itself. But salvaging from the pallets, this is good stuff. So it worked out very well for this use.
But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. But Ideas for New Businesses explains where and how to derive ideas for what could be a $1 million or $1 billion business. Among my prize-winning books are Extreme Muzzleloading, Crossbow Hunting, and Practical Bow Fishing, and all of these are available as softcover and e-books. I have an 8-book e-book series on muzzleloading guns in progress. Now, of these, 5 are already published, and the other 3 will be out later this year. This is a useful home build project using salvage materials that teaches you basic skills. For more information, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.